the deployment of the military to the streets to calm the protesters? Is it live? And how long was it supposed to take? Thank you.
Soipan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With regards to the question raised by the Honourable Member for Nyeri County, Honourable Mukami, it is around the value for money in terms of the practice of leasing as opposed to purchase of vehicles for the military. I will not venture much into it. It is an issue that I will have a look at in terms of what the prevalent situation is. But by all means, the point you raise is valid, that we should be looking at very efficient ways of expending our monies within the KDF. Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Caleb Amisi, the recent designation of Kenya as a major non-NATO ally by the US is one that we really should be proud of as a country. It places Kenya at a competitive edge in terms of bilateral engagements with the United States, and it comes with a lot of advantage in terms of access to equipment, access to training opportunities, and the general advancement of the defense cooperation between Kenya and the United States. Really the whole space around enhanced capability of our forces through defense cooperation with the United States. Just to say on the same light, Mr. Speaker, is that multilateralism is very important, bilateralism is very important, because Kenya has to play its part as part of the part of a member of the larger community of states, again in the backdrop of a very dynamic geopolitical situation around security and defense matters. The question on the Gazette notice deploying the KDF, it is still live, and the time duration is until the normalcy is restored. I think it's an issue that upon confirmation is to go back and assess the situation with a view to know the utility of whether to keep on having the deployment subsisting or to bring it to a halt, given that a fair amount of normalcy actually has been restored with regard to the recent unrest in the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Soipan. I'll ask you a few mundane questions that you can answer. In your last deployment before dismissal, have you been adversely mentioned in any integrity-related report or investigations?
Not at all, Mr. Speaker.
Do you hold any leadership position in any political party?
No.
What is your net worth?
Mr. Speaker, my net worth stands at 243,448 million Kenya shillings.
How much were you worth at the last?
It was 156 million Kenya shillings.
What has occasioned the growth?
Mr. Speaker, it's largely appreciation of assets, private business, and one asset acquired within Nairobi, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. We'll come to the end there. Your documents have been looked at, compared with what you sent to us, and they've been found to be in order. So your originals will be given back to you. Memoranda. We also are informed by the clerk that you adequately responded to the memoranda sent against you, and there were 44. Some were just saying, well done. Others were saying you are not suitable, and so on. Those that had any details, you have responded. So unless you are lawfully held, you are hereby discharged.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Appreciated.
Thank you. Member.
Epicenters of conflict in West Pokot County. I promise Honorable Kosing, should I be successful in becoming the CS, I will focus on these concerns because of the critical nature of opening up the northern region. I believe opening it up for development and all the infrastructure necessary for the livelihood support for the people of West Pokot will go a long way. On the issue of KDF recruitment, Mr. Speaker, from my reading of the core principles of national security, the drafters of our constitution found it fit that the issue of integrity around recruitment of Kenyans to the Kenya Defense Forces would be a very core component of the national principles of national security, because the Constitution actually demands of the national security organs to ensure, to reflect the diversity of the communities of Kenya and ensure diversity in equitable proportions in the recruitment of Kenyans to the defense forces and other security organs. Mr. Speaker, when you see the enthusiasm around young Kenyans coming to front themselves to participate in the recruitment into the forces, I think it is a process we have to guard very seriously in terms of the integrity. And I want to assure members of Parliament, I want to assure Kenyans that being that this is an issue that has been so incessant, I have been a member of this House before, Mr. Speaker, and this is an issue that has kept on recurring over and again. And being that the chairman of the line committee on defense and national and foreign relations is a member of this committee, I can commit, Honorable Speaker, that I will take time to evaluate the standard operating procedures of the KDF recruitment process, and with a view to identify the gaps to make sure that we adhere to the strict requirement of the Constitution in terms of the integrity around the recruitment process, Mr. Speaker. When Kenyans front themselves to be in the front line of the defense of our country, it's only fair that we afford that opportunity on an equitable measure. So Honorable Emase and Honorable Kosing, I undertake to make sure that, again, we also need a lot of sensitization for Kenyans to know that you do not have to pay to be recruited into the KDF. I will look again at the SOPs around the recruitment, but it is also high time that we have a whistleblowing around these activities with a rapid response to issues of corruption and malpractices around the recruitment process. So, Mr. Speaker, it is my undertaking that it is an area of priority that I will look at, and should there be cases of malpractice from within, because it is from without the KDF, and in certain instances within the KDF, then appropriate action would be taken.
Point of order, Speaker. Point of order.
Yes, Person.
Honorable Speaker.